Bobo C. Tiberius back with some budget modern. This hand has no lands on it, so we have to mulligan it. We're here with Black-White Soul Sisters. And this hand is keepable despite not having a sister. It has a path, it has a freebooter, it curves really, really well. We are on the draw, so we'll be a little slow, but we can do a lot with this hand, so we will keep it. We'll keep the second path on top. You can never have too many paths unless this is a matchup where paths aren't important. Either paths are important and we want 2 of them, or paths aren't important and we don't need any. So our opponent starts with a breeding pool into a Serum Visions, which that could be any number of things. It seems to me like this will be a longer matchup if they're shocking themselves to get card advantage. And this hand is okay for that. We'll start with a tapped land and we will pass. Opponent casts Light of Hand before they cast a land, so are they looking for a land? Gemstone Mine comes down. Taps for a green for Dissenter's Deliverance. They'll draw a card off of that and they will pass. We've got it. This has been an interesting deck so far. I'm not super familiar with what this could be. We're going to Windbrisk Heights. And we'll put a Thune underneath. And we'll shuffle. And we will pass. Slow starts for both of us here. We would love to see a Plains pretty soon, but we're perfectly happy now that we're at 2 mana. Allosaurus Rider. So our opponent is going to try to combo off here with the Neoform deck. There is the Neoform. So they'll get Grizzlebrand here, and we will wait until they draw cards and then path Grizzlebrand. So they're down to 4 with 10 cards in hand. And now they'll draw 7. But unless they're able to do something here, we should have just stopped them. They are tapped out entirely, 17 cards in hand, but 4 life is a problem for them. Next turn they'll cast another Allosaurus Rider. So that is still a 4/4. And another Allosaurus Rider. So we've got to reach into their hand next turn and take away anything they could use to turn those Allosaurus Riders into something. We'll still have to find a way to answer the Allosaurus Riders, but that'll come later. And we'll Freebooter here. They do have an Eldritch Evolution, so we'll have to take that. Because we don't want them being able to get Grizzlebrand again. This deck is relatively new to the format. I don't really know what to call it. They're exiling all their Simian Spirit Guides to cast some Metamorphoses. Trying to find enough land to cast something and the thing to cast. Right now we do outpace them pretty well. We can Whitemane Lion and target. They will put Neoform and try to draw it. So that will likely end the game here. because they can draw Neoform. They get the Allosaurus Rider. We have another path for the Grizzlebrand, so we are pretty happy about that. We draw a Ghost Quarter, which makes life easier. We will path the Grizzlebrand. They're down to 1 card, so I think we've got him here. Attack him with Freebooter, cast a Bugler, and pass turn. Let's see what we get off of Bugler here. So the double path ended up being super important. We'll get the Tidehollow Sculler here. The double path ends up winning this game for us. And they'll concede, so we steal a game 1 from them. Definitely bringing in Despark. Other than that, it's tough because the deck's so fast. We will bring in Dusk just for that situation. It's a 2-for-1. And I think we'll bring in Anguished Unmaking as well. So what we'll do here is we'll get rid of the Archangel of Thune because we're never going to cast him. There's a part of me that says get rid of the get rid of something else as well. I think it's the bounce cards. I think we get rid of our bounce cards here. So we'll get rid of 2 of each of the bounce cards. Actually, let's keep Whitemane Lion in and let's cut another Skyfisher. Let's cut the Skyfishers. That way we can hold up removal and then cast Whitemane Lion on our instep. There's not really a lot else to bring in. We could bring in Remorseful Cleric. You know what? Let's bring in Remorseful Cleric just in case they have a way to pull it out of the graveyard. We saw them do some graveyard shenanigans last game. And we'll get rid of a Whitemane Lion for that. Just in case. We saw them get their Neoform back out of the graveyard last game, so might as well try it. This deck is pretty new, so it's pretty tough to know how to play against it. We're on the draw. We have 1 path, plus the Remorseful Cleric. 1 land is tough. They can go off turn 1 on us, so there's that. It's tough to keep this, but we have a path, so we kind of have to. If we curve into land, we're in really good shape. If we just curve into multiple lands. They get the Chancellor. Do they have the turn 1 here? There's the Coast. For Serum Vision, so they don't have the turn 1 here. At least we don't think. The awkward thing about this is we kind of have to hold land up. We're going to try it here. Get down a Soul Sister and hope to not get turn 2'd. They have a Summoner's Pack. We might have just killed ourselves here. There's that. Do they have the Neoform? There's the Allosaurus Rider. Always yes to that. Do they have the Neoform? Looks like they do. So we're pretty dead here, it seems like. We know the last card in their hand is the Worm and the Summoner's Pact. Oh no, they've already played the Summoner's Pact. Do they have it? There's the Nourishing Shoal to draw more cards. This deck is not fun, really. This deck is pretty nerve-wracking to play against, if we're being honest. It sucks to have to constantly hold up until they're dead, until you've stopped them from doing what they want to do. But it looks like it's just that glass cannon-y that you have to. So, there you go. They get a Metamorphose. Red and blue mana on the stack. Red and blue mana in their pool, I should say. Not much happening for us here. Opponent considers. There's a small chance that it's such a new deck, the person playing it might not know what they're doing. It's possible they're brand new to it. Another Metamorphose. So they're digging for the way to kill us. They do blue-red again. Down to 3 life, so they're trying to find another Nourishing Shoal, I would imagine. And they'll discard a lot of cards, to which we will likely Remorseful Cleric. We'll have to see what they discard. There's a part of me that wishes we could that this was turn 3. Another Grizzlebrand. Center's Deliverance to destroy artifacts and cycle. Eldritch Evolution. Another land, another evolution. Rider, evolution. Gemstone Mine, Summoner's Pact. Yavimaya Coast. Chancellor of the Tango. They did Summoner's Pact, so we know that. It's likely their hand is just worms and things to tap with. So if we path, we're in good shape here. We'll path a Grizzlebrand. And they packed it, so they need 9 mana this turn. And they concede because they don't have 9 mana. Weird one, but we got there. Definitely a glass cannon-y combo deck. Nice to see Sisters be able to pull it off. Path to Exile, pulling a lot of weight in that matchup. See you in the next one.